with is concentrating the light from the sun. We actually have the highest ever optical efficiency of a small parabolic trough, so we convert 76.4% of the light into heat. A common misconception when it comes to the world energy supply is that the world is run on electricity. But electricity is only 18% of the Swedish energy consumption. And if we look globally of EU or the world, it's about 20% of the world energy consumption is electricity, 30% is transport, and 50% is heat. So if you're running a country, the country is not run on electricity, it is run on heat. And if we take Kenya, for example, there is only 4% of the energy consumption that is electricity, and all the rest is heat and transport. This heat for industries is today produced by burning fossil fuel. And in total, 40% of the total CO2 emissions comes from burning fossil fuel to produce heat in industries and buildings. But it doesn't need to be this way. We can produce this heat directly from the sun in the same way as we produce heat from photovoltaics when we produce electricity. The big difference is that the photovoltaics has about 18% efficiency when we convert heat to electricity, but with the solar concentrators that we have developed, we are converting 76% of the incoming solar radiation to heat. So if you have an industry like a brewery or a dairy plant, about a quarter of the energy they need is electricity and 3/4 are heat. And this heat is used to produce steam to heat all the processes in the brewery. And all the big breweries in the world, they have committed to go to zero CO2, to stop burning fossil fuel to produce this heat, and to use solar thermal and biofuel and electricity instead. So this is what we have done at Absolicon. We have invented the best solar concentrator in the world that converts the heat from the solar radiation from the sun to heat that we can run an industry with. And we target the largest industries of the world. We have signed cooperation agreements with Carlsberg, with Asahi Group, with Anheuser-Busch InBev that runs Budweiser, with ADM, with PepsiCo. So we are building installations with Carlsberg and Peroni in Italy and Greece, and we also installed with Colgate in Athens installations that stopped the burning of fossil fuel and instead produce the heat that they need from solar thermal. So Absolicon has the best solar concentrator in the world, but that is actually not what we are selling. What we are selling is a robotized production line where we mass produce the solar collectors with ABB robots. So we have 2 big ABB robots that is working to glue the collectors together that then can be transported to the fields. And we have sold and installed 1 robotized production line in China, and we have recently sold 1 production line to Egypt and 1 production line to Canada. And we are here at COP28 because we are planning to sign an agreement with the Zimbabwean electricity company CESA to build a robotized production line in Zimbabwe. And the big challenges for those industries around the world is how they can stop burning fossil fuel to run their processes. But it's a common misconception that the electricity is needed for this production. If we take a pair of jeans, for example, people think that the jeans are made with electricity. But in reality, jeans production is a thermal process where the jeans cloth needs to be heat treated, it needs to be bleached, it needs to be dyed, washed and dried. So to produce 1 kilo of jeans cloth, you burn 2 kilos of coal. And it's the same if you're going to produce tea. To dry 1 kilo of tea, you burn 5 kilos of firewood. So all the industrial process that we have that produce the common goods that we have around us, they are run with heat and not with electricity. And if we're going to change the way the world is run, we need to stop burning fossil fuel to produce this heat and instead use solar thermal. Another market that is interesting is the district heating market. Around in Europe, there are 6,000 district heating plants running on fossil fuel. And in Sweden, we run them on wood chip. That is not needed at all. We can run those district heating plants on solar thermal instead. For example, the Finnish capital Helsingfors, they are burning 500,000 tons of coal every year to heat Helsingfors. And that we can do instead with solar thermal. In Denmark, we have developed technology that can store the solar heat from summer to winter in seasonal energy storages. It's basically a big pit that you dig in the ground, where you fill it up with hot water in summer, and then you put a lid on top, and you can save the heat from summer to winter. So the city of Dronninglund and the city of Toftlund, for example, they have half the full energy need for the city using solar thermal. This development we have seen coming for a number of years, and in 2023, the installed capacity of solar thermal tripled in Europe. So we are looking at an exponential growth of solar thermal, and our company is Absolicon. We will be able to deliver the robotized production line that are needed to mass produce the solar thermal collector needed. Thank you.